Welcome back to the Mind Body Project. Thanks for taking a little time to join me today. Start over. Welcome back to the Mind Body Project. Thanks for taking a little time to join me today. What is a thief? What does a thief do? How would we define a thief? A thief would be defined as someone who comes and takes something that isn't theirs. And oftentimes we think of a thief as someone who might take or steal something that is material, something that we can touch and feel. If we have somebody that comes and is a thief at our home, then they come and take things that aren't theirs from our home. If we might say the thief stole money from the bank, a bank robber, a bank thief. They took money from the bank that wasn't theirs. So we would just classify a thief as somebody that takes something that isn't theirs. And typically it's something we can touch and feel and see. What about a thief that takes something we can't even see? We can't even touch it, but we can feel it. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but we can feel it. What if a thief came and stole our energy? You remember watching Superman, whether it was Superman movies back in the old Superman, back in the day when it came on cartoons or in the movies, whatever it was. Remember what always made Superman weak? It was kryptonite. Kryptonite it would just drain all of Superman's energy, and he didn't have any of his superpowers, and it would just drain it. Kryptonite was Superman's thief. It would take it from him. You couldn't see it physically, you couldn't see the energy draw from him, but what would typically happen? He'd kind of sink down, he couldn't fly, he couldn't do these things, he didn't have superhuman strength. It would take or steal his energy, his kryptonite. Do you know in our lives, we have energy thieves. We have things in our life that steal our energy. Knowingly or unknowingly, it steals our energy. So it's nothing that somebody might say, oh, you stole that from me. They may never know that they took it from you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how do we, it's easy to say, how do we protect our house from a thief? How do we protect a bank from thieves? We put up alarms, we put up cameras, we put up sensors, we might arm ourselves. We do all these things to protect our valuables, our home, our money, our family. But what kind of systems, what kind of guards can we put up to protect ourselves from an energy thief? So we're going to talk a little bit today about how do you guard against energy thieves. And again, sometimes people are energy thieves and mean it on purpose. And a lot of times, I think we have energy thieves and they don't realize that they're energy thieves. And so it's hard to get mad at them or upset with them when they don't realize that. Say, okay, well, explain that a little bit. How could somebody steal my energy? And so when somebody comes in your presence, have you ever walked into a room where maybe a couple people are arguing real loud and you could just kind of feel the tension? You may have been in a good mood. What happened when you walked in the room? You could feel that. You could feel that negative energy, that negative tension. And so when you're walking in there, they may pull you in and say, hey, what do you think about this? And now they've drawn you into that negative energy, that bad energy. So if you were, man, this is a great day, rocking along, you walk into that environment, and now they've started stealing some of your energy because now it's bringing you down into like, oh, I didn't want to get into this. Oh, this is not going to be good. What are they going to think? Whose side am I going to? So they start taking your energy. That's an energy thief. They start taking it from you. We've all been around negative Nellies. Negative Nellies. You talk to them for a few minutes and this is all what's wrong with the world. They're a victim to everything. Woe is me. Chicken Little, the sky is falling. It's just always worst case scenario. And that starts to, the more you talk to that person, the more they take your energy. And you just find yourself, just like Superman in the kryptonite, you find yourself physically just starting to sink and sag. And so we have to guard against that. We have to guard against those people and sometimes those things. So what do I mean by things? One is we might have to, how many times do we look on social media? And so often we talk about social media being the highlight reel, the all the good things that are going on in people's lives. Very rarely are we going to put the things that are bothering us or the things that are really irritating us. We're not going to necessarily put those on social media. Always, just like on Father's Day or Mother's Day, you see all these posts on social media. Everybody's the greatest. It's amazing that on this day, there are no bad dads and no bad moms. There's been times I'm sure my kids would say, Dad was kind of mean and not the greatest dad. And they're probably right. There's probably times I raised my voice, got irritated, got mad, when probably maybe it wasn't warranted. A lot of times it probably was. But my kids weren't always happy. I always wasn't the best dad. As I've mentioned before, I worked a lot. I wasn't always around. Not always a great dad. But on those days, everybody's the best dad on social media. So we have to bring that into, and can't that, when we're starting to feel a little down or negative about ourselves, and we start seeing that environment on social media, we can get drug into that. Like, what am I doing wrong? Everything's going right for this person. I mean, look at their new house, look at their vehicle. Oh, they're the best dad, best mom, best friend, all the best brother, sister. Because we have Brother's Day, Sister's Day. We have all these days. And everybody, everybody's the best on that day. But we can get drug into that. And that can start to take our energy from us. It can start to drain us of our energy. And that can be an energy thief. Again, nobody that's posting on social media that you're reading is intentional pointing out to you, I'm going to steal your energy. It's not that way. It just happens. So how do we guard against that? We can do a couple things against that. One, we can unplug totally. We can just say, you know what? That isn't serving me. I'm not going to be on social media. Or if you say, hey, that's not I'm going to be on it. You start to choose who you follow, who you see, who you go to their page. Maybe ones that uplift you and make you feel better, and just so you start to pick and choose where you're going instead of just scrolling and catching all the nonsense. So you can guard against that, whether you unplug totally or you say, I can't unplug totally, I need to be a little plugged in. Fine. Then start picking where you want to go, who you want to see, who you want to interact with. Because you know what? That algorithm picks up on what you see. So when you start seeing more of the things you don't like and you start looking at those, you're going to get more and more and more. On the opposite side, when you start going to those things that you like, you're going to start seeing more and more and more of those things. So social media, unplug or direct how you want to go. And then we can also limit our time around the energy thief. If we know a person or thing takes our energy, and what do you mean a thing? Maybe it's a organization that you're with, or something you volunteer with, and it's a negative energy. It's not a good energy. There are some things that can give us energy, but we're kind of talking about energy thieves, things that take us. And so if there's groups or people or things you watch or do that steal your energy, that take it from you, then set a time, set a limit amount of time around that. When I was a kid, my mom she had this kitchen timer. You turn it around and whenever the time's up, it goes ding. And so she'd always set timers for me. You can do this for 5 minutes. And so she set the timer. When the timer went ding, I knew I was done. I knew that whatever I was doing it was done. Whether it was, hey mom, I was homeschooled up until the 4th grade, so I would say, hey, can I go ride my bike? And she'd say, okay. So she'd say 5 minutes. I'd come in, check, is it dinged yet? No. I'd go out and come, is it dinged? No. So, and then when it dinged, I knew that was it. I had to stop doing what I was doing and get back to schoolwork to get back to what she told me to do. And the same is true. We need to have that, not necessarily when we come into that energy thief, say, okay, I am setting this timer. You have 5 minutes, and then your negative energy is leaving me. And we can't do that. But we can mentally set a timer and go, okay, I know what this person or thing does to my energy. When I leave them, I'm a little drained. It's not a place I particularly care to be. So I'm going to just limit my time around this person, place, or thing, and then I'm going to get out. And we want to limit it to so it may drain a little bit, but it's not fully draining our energy source, our energy resource. So that because what happens when we have energy thieves, what does that do to the other parts of our lives? It doesn't leave energy to go around. We run out of energy. We in a day we only have so much energy. It's kind of like the time. We only have so much time, and if somebody's taking a thing or a place is taking that energy from us, then we don't have the energy to give to those things that we thoroughly enjoy and we thoroughly want to spend time on, spend time with. We don't have the energy, and if we do, whatever energy might be left from that is not our prime energy. So, if you look at a gas tank, we start on a full tank of energy. And depending on the energy thieves were around that day, we might have a gas guzzler. So we only might make it a half a day, and we're already almost on E. And we still have a whole nother half a day to go. Well, that's a big problem. So we have to limit our time. And then there's also, we can guard against our energy, but there's also ways to refuel or recharge, re-energize. And sometimes throughout the day, it's finding those things or people that can recharge your energy. You may have set a certain amount of time to be around that energy thief, knowing that when you leave that person, place, or thing, you're going to go into somewhere that energizes you, that gives you energy to replace what you might have lost. That, let's say you're on E by noon, but you're going to go have lunch with a friend. You're maybe going to do some shopping. You're going to do some fishing, some hunting, something in the afternoon that's really going to energize you. You should go, okay, I know by noon my energy is going to be low, but I know after that, after lunch, it's going to start recharging, going to start re-energizing. And so, but we still set that limited time. We only set a certain amount of time. And we go, well, what if we live in the same household as that energy thief? And again, it's not necessarily intentional, but it does happen. What do we do? I can't get away. I can't say, okay, to my husband, wife, my kids, my brother, sister. I can't say, okay, you only got so much time and you're done being negative. No, it means that maybe we're around them for a little bit. We hear the negativity and say, hey, I need to go do something else. And so you go find your little spot, something that recharges you. Maybe it's going out, taking a walk around the house. Maybe it's going out and doing some watering. Maybe it's just going sitting outside. Maybe it's going in a different room, watching a show that you might like. Whatever recharges you just a little bit to go back. You said a little certain time, I'm going to go do something, come back. So you can still make those adjustments even when you're in the same household with that person. You may still have to work with that person side by side. That's an energy thief. You can still do things to recharge your battery to go a little bit more. It's just like on our phones. We might be down 10% to 10%. You plug it in, you get up to 15%, okay, go a little bit more before I have to come back to a charger until it's at 10% again. That's the same thing. We find a way to recharge and then come back. And then another way to guard against energy thieves is listen to our body. What's our body telling us? What's it doing? What's that energy thief doing to you? Just like this person, place, or thing might be kryptonite, and you're Superman. What did Superman's body physically do? It physically crumbled. It got weaker. He lost his superpowers. He couldn't do things. And we could see that. And when we have energy thieves, if we become in tune with our body, we're going to realize that our body does the same things. It might just make us tired. We might get done with an energy thief and go, man, I am drained. Like, that person talked nonstop and was so negative. Like, my mind hurts, my body hurts. I'm just exhausted. Maybe it's you leave and you find yourself just being negative. You kind of felt upbeat beginning of the day, and you came in contact with this energy thief for a little bit, and you walked away, and you just find that the rest of your day is kind of being negative. It's like, man, where did that come from? And as you look back through your day, you can kind of trace it back to that energy thief. And sometimes we can become depressed from it, where the energy thieves keep taking. We don't have time to recharge. The energy thief just keeps taking and taking, and that can get us in an area of depression, of all sorts of things. So we have to recognize, what is our body doing? Are we getting sick a lot? And, being sick is sometimes a symptom of being down and being tired, and sometimes it's easier. Our immune system's down. We can get sick easier. We're getting sick a lot. If I'm getting sick a lot, who am I hanging around? Am I around a bunch of thieves? Or maybe I need to get around a bunch of energizers, like the Energizer Bunny. We all know those people that seem to have the endless amount of energy. And sometimes we just want to get kind of close to them because we think, man, if I can get a little bit of their energy, I'll be rocking it. I'll be doing awesome. So I just want a little bit of their energy, the Energizer Bunny. And if we allow that energy thief, and we're not cognitive of it, we're not aware of it, that energy thief starts to take our energy. What areas of our life can that affect? That can affect our diet. Man, I'm just down. I was talking to so-and-so, or I looked on social media, and man, everybody's got a great life, and I'm over here just working hard and not getting anywhere, but I'm still showing up every day, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to forget about this diet. I'm going to forget about trying to lose weight. I'm just going to eat something that makes me feel better. Well, we had a little less willpower, a little less discipline, because we had some energy thieves steal that energy from us. It can affect our exercise. I'm hearing about, man, my friend, they're talking about, they're just working out like twice a week, and they're dropping body fat and weight, and they said they've got the best body they've had in their life, and I'm over here working out 5 days a week and trying to count my macros and my calories, and I'm in a sauna suit, and I'm not getting anywhere. Forget it. I'm just not even exercising. It's not even worth it. Now, they didn't mean to take your energy, but you think, well, why even bother? So allowing that energy thief can, without guarding, can cause you not want to exercise, or exercise even less. It can affect relationships. It's like going back to, on Mother's Day, Father's Day, Brother's Day, Best Person in the World Day. We have all these days, and everybody's the best on that day, whatever it is. And you think, man, I'm not that good. I didn't get flowers. I didn't get presents. I've kind of messed up my life as a dad, and I've done some things wrong, and I probably should have done some things different for my kids. And oh man, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I'm probably just going to leave my kids alone because they probably just irritate at me and don't even like me anymore. That can, that can affect relationships when we let those energy thieves get to us. They start to take our energy, and that affects not as a dad, but as a brother or sister, as a friend. Because of course we have Friends Day. It can affect those, and we can start to think, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough for my husband, my wife, my friend, my kids. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I didn't do all the right things. So those energy thieves, if we don't guard against them, they can start to infiltrate. They can start to get into our lives and start to steal our energy. And sometimes it's just a little at a time. It's a little at a time. Before we know it, we've hit that negative state of mind all the time. We've hit that depression all the time. We've just started eating whatever we want. We just quit exercising. We can't keep a friend. We can't stay in a relationship. It just starts affecting every area of our life because we didn't guard against those energy thieves. But we have to be aware of what is our kryptonite. What is our kryptonite, and do we need to unplug from that? Do we need to limit the time? Do we need to set a time? And what's our body telling us? Well, after we come in contact, what's it telling us? What are we doing? And when we do those things, we can start to guard against those energy thieves, and we can take back our own energy. We own our energy. What are we going to do with our energy? If you're stealing my energy, I don't want you around. You don't want to invite somebody in your house knowing that they're going to steal from you, that they're going to rob you, take the most valuable things you have. You don't want that. So why would you invite somebody or something into your life that's going to steal your energy? You don't want that. They're stealing your energy, one of the most valuable things you have in your life. It's your energy. So why would you let somebody come into your life and steal that if you wouldn't let anybody go into your house and steal your most valuable, precious thing that you own? Same thing is true with our life. Don't let them in. Don't let them in the door and say, come on in, take all the energy you want. Guard against energy thieves and start to see and take that energy that they're not getting, and your life will start to change. Because you're keeping that energy and putting it towards things that you want to improve and see happen in your life. And I'd love to help you be able to connect with your energy and even go into more detail on how you can guard against your energy thieves. You can find more information at how to connect with me at aarondegler.com, whether it's through my blog, my daily text, or one of my coaching programs, personal training, whatever it is. I'd love to connect with you and help you find your energy, and you take back over your energy and take back over your life. And as I tell my wife Kim every night before I go to bed, it's bomb of the night, double A, out.